Today we're going to make a gluten-free pizza. I know it's not the typical things that I've said I would be making, like biscuits and cookies and all those yummy treats, but I thought anybody that's gluten-free is probably missing pizza, and I absolutely love this recipe, as does my family. So I thought I would share it with you. I am using a greased stoneware. I've pre-greased it. I prefer stone, but you could use a metal baking pan. That is certainly fine. And then we are going to take a half a cup of warm water, and we are going to add in, let's see, how much was this? This is 1 teaspoon of gelatin. You know, the stuff like you make dessert with. It is gelatin made from cows that were grass-fed, pasture-raised. There we go. We have 1 tablespoon of instant yeast, 2 teaspoons of honey, and we're just going to stir that all together. And my oven is actually preheating at 400 degrees. We're going to use it to rise our pizza dough when we are done mixing it up. I'm just stirring this together, trying to get it incorporated. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the honey. My water was about 110 degrees. And it was a half a cup. And I'm just going to set that there while we work on the dry ingredients in our dough recipe. So I'm using my mixer bowl, and I have 1/3 cup plus 2 teaspoons of tapioca flour. I have 1/3 cup of sweet potato starch. I have 2/3 cup of almond flour. Let's see what else do I have here. 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum. You can see it kind of going in there. Those of you that are gluten-free are probably familiar with it. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, or you could substitute a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, which is what I do. And this is a teaspoon of salt. And that is it. We're going to whisk that together in the mixer. Mixed in nice, and together. And let's see, now I am going to add a 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon of olive oil to the flour mixture. And I'm going to add my yeast mixture. It's a little bubbly. I don't know if you can see it in there. Probably not too well. It's a little bubbly. It's activated, working, doing its magic. So I'm just going to add that into our dry mixture. That has the oil, so it's not completely dry, I guess. And the last ingredient is 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to mix this until it's all incorporated. Okay. our dough has all come together, and we can now put it in the bottom of our prepared pan that we have. Good enough. Okay. So you can see there, maybe you can't. Let's see. It's all come together quite lovely. And I'm just gonna put it out on our pan, turn it out. See, it's all held together quite well. My family and I prefer a thinner crust pizza, so I am going to spread this out in the pan as best I can to go from one end to the other. If you prefer a thicker crust pizza, you would not want to do that. You would want to just leave it a little thicker, perhaps maybe only cover half the pan, or use a smaller pan. Something you could even use is like a cast iron skillet, so that it could even go up the sides and make like a Chicago deep dish if you like that sort of thing. I'm just going to oil my hands a little because the dough can be a little sticky sometimes, and I'm just going to push it out with my hands. Okay, so my dough is spread from one end of the pan to the other, and now we are going to take I like to put some utensils across the top, so I'm just using some spatulas and things that I have, and resting them on the lip of the bar pan, so that when I cover the dough with the towel, it doesn't get stuck to the towel. Even though my hands were greased and I patted it, it will stick, and I don't want that. So we are going to put it in our 400-degree oven that is preheated, and we're going to shut the oven off when we do that. The oven at 400, and we're just using it as a hot box to let it rise. And I'm going to take another spatula and I'm going to stick it in the door of the oven just to keep it cracked a little bit, so that it will let some of the heat escape and it won't cook the crust. And make sure my oven is indeed cracked, and it is. So we're going to let this sit for 15 minutes with the door cracked, and then we're going to close the oven door and let it sit for another 15 minutes. Anyways, we'll come back in just a few minutes and we'll see what the risen dough looks like. So it's been 30 minutes. I've taken the dough out of the oven. I have turned on my oven to preheat, and we're ready to put the dough back in the oven now to par bake. So I'm going to take off my towel and my spatulas, and I'm just going to show you the dough. And we're going to put it in the oven and par bake it for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to remove it to top it. You're not going to shut the oven off, you're going to leave the oven on. It's been 5 minutes. I'm going to take the crust out of the oven. See that? It has a firmness to the top of it so that I can top it without it tearing and ripping. I am going to spread some things on the crust that my family and I like, and we do follow a lectin-free diet here, so there will be no tomato sauce on the diet. My husband doesn't like it anyway. But I'm going to brush the crust with olive oil and garlic, and then an Alfredo sauce. And I'm going to put some crumbled hamburger on, some buffalo mozzarella, some parm, and some sliced onion. But you put on what you like, and after I'm done topping it, I'll let you see what the pizza looks like before I pop it in the oven. And here we have the pizza ready to go in the oven. I'm going to pause it and show you a top shot so you can see. So our pizza is going to go in the oven for 20 minutes because I'm using a stone pan. If you are using a metal pan, it probably will take about 15 minutes. So you can cook stoneware a little longer than a metal pan and not worry about it burning. So do check it sooner. Or if you're making a thicker crust pizza in a smaller pan, you might need to go the 20 minutes or even a little longer. It has been 20 minutes. I'm going to take the pizza out of the oven and let you see what it looks like. That looks yummy. I cannot wait to dig in. I cut the pizza up and I'm gonna scoop out a piece for you to see. See that? This is what the bottom looks like. Let's try a bite, shall we? That's good. That's very good. I'm gonna go enjoy my dinner now with my family. You have a great day, and I'll catch you back again with some more great gluten-free cooking videos. Bye-bye.